What is going on, Buckeye Nation? We are back again with another episode of Walks Buckeye Talks. This is a very late edition. It is 9:06 where I'm from. A couple hours till tip off. This is a late edition for a couple reasons. One, I've been really busy all week, but two, this is the game, man. This is a game that's been circled for a while. This is considered a big game to me, no matter what the perception is about Penn State and James Franklin. I always circle this game. This is always a huge test for the Buckeyes. And I've been kind of torn on this game, man. I've been back and forth. Sometimes I hate being a fan the way I am. This is a huge, huge effort for this is going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of determination, a lot of heart to beat this Penn State team on the road. Uh, so, man, let's dive into it. Buckeyes are sitting at 6-1, Penn State 7-0. They just got done beating a feisty Wisconsin Luke Fickle team, which they didn't play their best ball either, but their defense came alive late in the game, and the offense did just enough. The quarterback, Drew Aller, went down. I want to say late in the second, but that backup came in. He's really good with his legs, kind of remind me of Trace McSorley. And they got it done on the road, man. And as for the Buckeyes, we all know we had a rough day with Nebraska, man. Really couldn't block them. Really couldn't get no pressure. Really couldn't get no pushback in the run game. We made just enough plays early on in the game and late in the game, which kind of put that game away. But this is a different animal. This is a different test. This is a better defense. This is a better quarterback. Uh, just all around better team, and they have pros. So I always think it's a good time, man. It's gonna be a good test for the Buckeyes. Kind of torn, man. Been seeing a lot of stuff all this week. I think that's also I've been letting it marinate to see, I've been seeing on social media. I haven't really been watching a lot of podcasts. Like I said, I've been kind of busy, but the ones that I've seen, it's been 50-50. I've seen some people, think the Buckeyes will get it done, and see a lot of some people think this is Penn State time. I believe, just talking to the folks that I talked to about Ohio State football. Oh yeah, I got my lucky jersey. We haven't lost yet in this jersey. It's Chris Olave, all black. But people that I've been, talked to beginning of the year about, Buckeyes and what to expect. Of course, everybody undefeated. We brought everybody back undefeated, but I wasn't one of those people, to be honest with you. I've always said that this would be a season because every year is different. Like teams get better, teams make moves. Like I said, this is a new age in college, man, where all right, I don't have a good left tackle. I can get a good left tackle. I don't have a good running back. I can get a good running back. I don't have a good quarterback next year. I can go get a good quarterback. So this is a different college. You know what I mean? This is definitely a different college, a state of college. So I knew every year is different, plus especially with the Big Ten expanding and looking at the schedule, I did this, once again, talking to my people that I talked to Ohio State about, nothing on record or anything, but I thought that we would split the road games. Me personally, I thought we would beat Oregon and we would lose to Penn State this year just because I believe they're due to beat us. Well, I was wrong. Right? We were a couple plays from beating Oregon. So I do think that, we were on par with that. I do think we were the better team than Oregon, but losing Josh Simmons and all the other stuff that happened, we lost by 1 point. So now we're at Penn State in a must win. Uh, I think somebody stated on Twitter, this has to be our Super Bowl. This has to be, this is the championship because if you beat them, then literally everything is in front of you, right? This is kind of like, the step into the right direction. We can say everything is in front of us, but we got to go do it. So, when you beat Penn State and then you look at the schedule, you have, Purdue, then Northwestern. That's not a disrespect to those programs. That don't mean you just can roll the ball out there with the your second string players, but you kind of can take a deep breath and say, let me take a deep breath. Let's gear up for this last 3 game run because Indiana is going to be a tough out. Michigan's going to be a tough out, and then if you get past those, then you're looking to get the rematch for Oregon. So this is the game, man. Like I said, Penn State is loaded as always. Good defense. Tom Allen. They got a new offensive coordinator from Kansas, so they've been doing their thing, but they've had some scares too. They didn't like early on, they didn't play their best against Bowling Green. I mean, Bowling Green put up 28. A MAC school shouldn't be doing that to Penn State. Sorry, I gotta drink some of my morning tea. And then they had like a if you watched that USC game, they probably should have lost. They were down, but credit to Penn State, a lot of resilience, a resilient team, and they beat USC on the road in overtime, I believe. In overtime, USC kind of coughed that game up. It's been kind of like a revolving theme about that school, about Lincoln Riley team, especially this year. They should probably be only have maybe a couple losses. They blew to Michigan and they blew to Penn State, but and then last week, they were tooth and nail with Wisconsin until late in the game, late in the second half. So they're not perfect either, but they're rolling, they're resilient, they got a lot of heart, and you're gonna have to take it to them and beat them. And we're gonna have to start fast and end good, no turnovers. Drew Aller, he's been actually looking a lot better today. I mean, this year, seeing the field a lot better than last year, which that was his first year starting. Uh, so and Keyshawn Allen, I think that's his name, and I can't think of the other running back name, but he's like the explosive, quick, can break an 80 yarder, and the Allen kid is more of a power back, so they always have a two-headed monster. Then the Warren, the tight end, who's they saying the best tight end in the nation. So this is definitely a huge test for the defense, who thought they played a little bit better last week, different stuff, and then hopefully they can. I don't think the defense is bad. I don't think the defense played bad against Oregon. They just gave up a little too many explosives. If that makes sense. I don't think they just played awful. You hold that Oregon offense to what, 32? It was 32, 31. It was like it was 2022 going into the fourth quarter. You kind of feel good about your defense. You just stop giving us some of those explosive plays and some of those chunk plays, make them earn it. So yeah, that's going to be key, right? Their offense, they're going to run the rock. Their offensive line looks a little better. They're going to try to run the rock. They don't have crazy playmakers, but they got a couple good receivers. But they rely on a tight end. That's like his blanket, his safety blanket is the Tyler Warren kid. But they got the old receiver, Julian Fleming. They got a couple good receivers. Let me see. Got a couple good receivers here and there. So our secondary has to be on alert. They're going to try to test you downfield. So this is going to be a test for our defense again. Can we not pass interference and give up chunk plays? Can we play sticky coverage, make them throw in the tight windows? That's what I want to see this today. And then stop the run, of course. We got to stop the run. I think we did that good last year playing them at Ohio State, which that's a game that I was like, man, they're gonna beat us, right? They're gonna beat us, man. Our offense was struggling. Our defense came alive though, and we held them. It was a tight, close knit game, and then we finally pulled away. So uh, that was a game I was like, man, they probably gonna beat us, man. I didn't like what I was seeing on offense, and Penn State defense is always a problem. But we did what we had to do, and we beat them last year. So, but this is a different test. It's a team that's been thirsty for a Ohio State victory. Their biggest issue in the Big Ten has been Michigan and Ohio State. And although they've beat Michigan before, they haven't beat us in I think the last 8 tries. So, they're fiending for a win. But let's not make it today, man. Let's not make it today, right? On offense end, Ohio State war hard. He just has to play. He has to play better, obviously, than he did last week. But I also think we need to run the ball a lot better. They said the offensive line is going to be a lot better this game. So I guess we'll see at 11 o'clock my time. I don't know. I think that's everybody question mark. Can the offensive line hold up against that defensive pressure? From just hearing different statistics, they don't sack the quarterback a whole lot, but they bring a lot of pressure to try to make you get the ball out quick. So Will Howard has to be poised. I would like to see him take off, man. If they bring on that pressure and they give you a lane, take off, man. Take off. Like seriously, go make a play with your legs. Like this is Urban Meyer said it best. This is you don't have to. You can't worry about injuries. This game. You know what I mean? Like this game, you can't you have to win this game. You know, this sets you up into the right direction. So, man, I pray that Will Howard is using his legs more, especially in the run game with Quinshawn and Trey. They're gonna have to be huge for us. Like they're gonna have to continue moving the chains, fight for hard yards. Offensive line gonna have to block their butts off for the whole game. And receivers is gonna have to make plays, man. They're gonna be press coverage, it's gonna be sticky coverage. They're gonna have to make plays. And that's how the offense is gonna, eke out a victory. Keep it basic, but keep it effective. That's the key. Football, it doesn't have to be difficult. All you got to do is get 10 yards to the next play. 10, so all you're searching for is those 10 yards. And that's all you have to do until you get down there. This is going to have to be a full effort from both sides. Like I said, our defense is going to have to be probably the best they've been out of this group of guys, probably their whole 4 years being here. JT, they say he's a Penn State killer. We need another destructive, you know, game. Jack Sawyer, you have to show up. Like this has to be everything on point, man. The favorite we're only favored about 3 points on the road. So to me, that's an even game. That can go either way. We're gonna have to be resilient, we're gonna have to be poised, and we're gonna have to, win the game in the fourth quarter. Like these games are always are. So like I said, man, I'm kind of torn. I'm hoping, I wish I could like sit back and just watch regularly, like you do, like watch your team. Like when you ever watch college or pros, you just watch it, you're watching football, like, oh man, I don't care who wins. But when it comes to your team, it's like it's a big deal. So so yeah, man, that's how I feel. It's gonna be have to my breakout star. It's gonna have to be Will Howard, man, with his legs. Of course, his arm's gonna have to, move the ball. That's just the offensive prowess of Ohio State, throwing the ball. But I think his legs is gonna be important. I think the run game entirely is gonna be important. Uh, so I'm picking Will Howard, Trayshawn, and I'm sorry, I just not Trayshawn, Trey Henderson and Quinshawn Junkins. I think those three are my breakout stars. I think the receivers they need to make some big plays in the fourth quarter, early on in the game in fourth quarter to kind of get the ball rolling offensively. But I'm expecting the run game, especially in the red zone, to be very effective. And but they only can do that if the offensive line holds up. But with that statement, I guess I'm putting faith in the offensive line. I think they're gonna get the job done, and it's gonna be a close game. Close game. I don't think these teams. I don't think no more people. I don't think nobody's gonna be up by more than at least 10 points throughout the game. And that's how close I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a back and forth tight game. Uh, we're favored by three. That's about right. If I could predict a score, I don't think it's going to be a crazy high scoring game. Uh, I can see like maybe like a 28-24, 27-24. I saw somebody say 24-21. Our defense will have to play lights out though for them to only score 24, but 21, I mean, I can see something like that. 31-28. So I guess my final prediction would be 27-24 or 28-24 Buckeyes, man. I'm going with the Buckeyes. I think we're going to edge it out. A tight, close game. I think Chip Kelly, Ryan Day's gonna get it done offensively against Tom Allen. I think our defense is gonna show up in key moments and get those key stops that I always talk about. Certain people, especially in college, you're not gonna slow everybody down. You're not gonna stop everybody, but it's just those key stops, those key moments that you need to get a stop. And I think that's what we're gonna do, especially in the fourth quarter. It's gonna be a great game, though. Penn State always brings it. They got a great roster, great talent, and James Franklin is a really good coach. I don't understand you know, the issue with him. He brought Penn State back to being a powerhouse nationally. He recruits well. From what Penn State was, especially in the Urban Meyer era, to now, it's like night and day. And I think Bill O'Brien's a good coach too, but I just think he's took him to that level. He hasn't really blown a game against Ohio State, but like one time that I can remember, that's 2018 when it looked like they should have won the game. Like, I don't know why people like, I don't know, these narratives about coaches and players is just some are warranted, but I don't think that's warranted for James Franklin. He might have blown other games, maybe against Michigan or Maybe his teams don't show up when they should, like early on. But as of late, I feel like he's a really heck of a coach. I think Penn State is lucky to have him. Uh, so yeah, that's my thought about Penn State. I will say, like, win, lose, or draw. I know the Twitter fingers are gonna be out on Ryan Day and his team. But with 12 team playoff, they can still get in there, man. They still got a lot of pride to play for. You still got two really good games coming up against Indiana and Michigan. If you beat those, you're probably going to be in the playoffs. So I don't understand. I hate to get on Twitter when the team isn't playing good, or if they lose this game, like Ohio State fans, they could lose today. It's a big game and they could lose. It's to me, it's a 50-50 game because you're on the road. So, it can happen. It doesn't mean they're solved or Ryan Day's a bad coach. It can happen. They can lose one, you know. But hopefully they don't. This would be a good Saturday for all Buckeye fans. This kind of reminds me of just a quick story. Remember, if you remember 2018 when we should have lost to Maryland, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna lose to Michigan." Michigan was like undefeated. It was like the revenge tour. And I think they only lost one game like early on that year, but they like went like nine straight, 10 straight, and it looked like they were the better team. Looked like they were gonna probably beat Ohio State in the horseshoe. I mean, our defense was terrible against Maryland. Like we literally should have lost that game. And everybody's, you had the Michigan players were predicting a win, guaranteeing a win. And we came out there and boat raced them. Remember that feeling that you had like after that game? I remember like, man, it was such a good feeling that day. After that, I came home early from work that day because I just knew we were gonna lose. So I just wanted to see it firsthand because that was the first we wasn't losing to Michigan at the time. And this game will make me feel like that again, as a fan. This is a game that people are down on this team. People are saying like, and they not did no more and this and that and Ryan Day should get fired, all that crazy stuff. What's a good way to shock the world and beat the number three team in the nation on the road? That'll shut a lot of people up. But, you know, hopefully it does. We don't know yet, but we'll know here in a couple hours. So that's all I have today. A short video. It's a late video, but I had to get this one in, man, because this is Penn State. I had to get some stuff off my chest. And so yeah. But anyways, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Uh Comment throughout the game, man. And hopefully the Buckeyes get it done, man. I wouldn't have it no other way to be a Buckeye fan. So it's a good day. Peace out.